Welcome everybody to round number 3 of the International Race of Champions for the NNSCRA, as we are here at Michigan Speedway for 50 laps of action here today, or 100 miles. After we had great rounds at Talladega and at Daytona, we're here to see what happens here today at Michigan Speedway. Here, the lineup, as you saw here, determined by alphabetical order of your first name. And after this race here at Michigan, we will determine the lineup by points in reverse at Indianapolis for the final round here. So let's get the command to fire the engines here at Michigan.
Drivers, start your engines.
Commands to get to fire the engines as 12 identically prepared Pontiac Firebirds get ready to go racing here today. For 50 laps, we had great racing at Michigan, we had great racing at Daytona and Talladega, the first two stops. As Levi McIntyre won the first stop at Daytona, and then Jessica Shelton took the second stop at Talladega. Here, Anthony McCurry in that petty blue car has the pole for this event. Here, alongside of him in that red car is Brandon Gonzalez. As we get some action here today on this 2-mile D-shaped oval, 50 laps of distance here today as we are set to go racing here at Michigan. 3 in-car cameras as always for this race here. Seth Colby will carry one of them, as well as Charles Sanford, and as well as Jessica Shelton will also carry an in-car camera as well. Row 3 will. As the green flag about to wave here, and we are set to racing 50 laps of distance, and we are underway here at Michigan. Brandon Gonzalez goes to the high side here. There you see Anthony McCurry. Falling to second position now, as now the leader of the race is Charles Sanford, car number in the yellow machine. Off corner number 4, they come. Charles Sanford lead him down. Second position is Anthony McCurry. Battle for third going on between the red car of Brandon Gonzalez and the dark green car that is Connor Morgan, the man who represents the Walmart Cup Series, as the field's still just about right together to field of 12. Sean Henley trailing the pack here in the green car, and an orange car, I should say, as the field getting very, very close there through the turns. McCurry dives underneath Sanford again for the number 1 spot. You see right there, several cars having to back off the throttle just a little bit there as they go to the low side of the turn here. These cars drafting very, very well. As we watch Jordan Davis in the silver car go alongside Jessica Shelton in the silver car. Michael Norman right behind in the purple machine. And now we got a battle for the lead again here. That's McCurry, Sanford, Gonzalez in the red car. The dark green car, that would be Connor Morgan. Inside they go 3 wide into turn number 1. And oh gosh, this may not end pretty right here as they come out of the second turn. And Sanford bounces off the wall just a little bit there. Now the dark blue car on the outside is Seth Cole. Riding along the roof came of Seth Cole's car. Look at Seth get that momentum on the high side of the racetrack. Now as he goes into turn number 1, 174 miles an hour, 75, 177, 78, 178 miles an hour to turn number 1. into turn and goes into turn 3 at about 9,000 RPMs there on these cars. They're very, very tough on these engines. As Seth goes inside of McCurry for the lead now as it comes on the front stretch here. 5 laps in the books. And 45 laps to go on this 2-mile racetrack. Average speed after 5 laps, 162.711 miles per hour. These cars doing over 165, 166 miles per hour in the case of Seth Cole coming out of the second turn now. We saw cars in the draft there do over 180 miles per hour going into the turns. Off corner number 4 they come. Close racing here as they go into turn number 1 here, and Shelton now on the outside of Brandon Gonzalez and the Aqua car here of Levi McIntyre. That's the second race he's had the Aqua car. He had it at Daytona when he won. On board Jessica Shelton in the roof, on the roof cam of that machine, and she goes on the outside now of that dark green car of Connor Morgan as they come out of turn number 4. Charles Sandberg, Anthony McCurry, and Seth Fulton to the head. Seth looks like he's going to lead the lap here in Michigan. Let's see how fast Jess goes into turn number 1. 178 miles an hour, 179, 180 miles per hour to turn number 1. Wow. And Shelton, you may remember, won a close race over Michael Norman at Talladega in the second round of the series here. As now Charles Sandberg goes on the outside of McCurry. Sandberg gets to drive offset goal on the outside lane. It seems to be the preferred groove here at Michigan in these first few laps of this race. Sandberg in the yellow car, Seth Cole in the dark blue machine. And Seth, of course, the president of the NNSCRA. And oh my gosh, they're 3 wide. I don't know. They're almost 4 wide. They're going to turn number 2. This may not end pretty here. And hitting the walls, that lime green car, that would be the car of Chris Dodd. He's in the lime green car. And up on the inside in the gold machine, that would be Trent Dunham. And oh my gosh, start finish line, that was very, very close. Seth Cole led the lap by just about a smidgen over McCurry. But here they go into turn number 1 again. McCurry dives inside lane. Here comes McIntyre just up behind McCurry in the aqua colored car. Three wide there. Inside goes a dark green machine of Connor Morgan. In the middle is Jordan Davis in the silver car, and on the outside is Sanford in the yellow car. And we said starting lineup after this race here at Michigan. The starting will determined by points after this race, going into the final round of Indianapolis at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And it will be by reverse order of the points they came in the Indy at. And oh no. And hitting and slapping that wall just a little bit is Shelton in the cream colored machine as they go into turn 3 now. Jordan Davis moving his way to the number 5 position now. McIntyre trying to shove McCurry up to the field now. Michael Norman up on the high side here. Sean Henley trying to find his way around in the orange car, following Chris Dodd in the lime green machine. And now Dodd goes to the high side of the racetrack. Oh my gosh, this is going to be something right there. Oh, Dodd almost makes contact, and she does make contact with Connor Morgan. Dodd was way up the racetrack here, as you see Brandon Gonzalez making just about in the back of the pack there in the red car. Now Dodd and Henley are side by side as the front two of McCurry and Seth Cole still continue to lead. Actually, my mistake, it's Seth Cole and Levi McIntyre who led that lap. 13 laps, and we're on lap number 13 of this race here. The front looks like the front 7 cars, I think. Nope, the front 8 cars. Now, yeah, it's the front 8 cars that's broken away right here. But now the rest of the field's closed up by the time I got it all figured out, though. But McIntyre does lead the race here. Second is Seth Cole. Going to third is Jordan Davis. Fourth position now is McCurry, or trying for fourth is McCurry as he goes inside of the yellow car of Charles Sanford as they go into turn number 1. Look and see who has the fastest lap here. 1:66.4. Seth Cole looks like. McCurry at 1:66.48. And that would be the fastest lap of the race here. Anthony McCurry at 166.482. And that last time by for Anthony, 164.73. As I said, these IROC cars are not as fast as any of the mods we use on the NASCAR side of things here. Gen 6 Original Cup 2000, any mod we use for NNSCRA Series. But they have been giving us some great racing here this season. As we're in the third stop of the tour here, the points battle very, very close, as we mentioned, though, going into this very race. Could be a possibility, and so far we have had 2 races and 2 different winners. Could we make it 3 for 3, or could either McIntyre or Shelton say different as they go down to turn number 1? Speaking of Shelton, she goes inside of the 3 wide for the lead, and she now goes inside now of Levi McIntyre position. Jess has to back off just a little bit. On board with Shelton. McIntyre pulling ahead on the outside of the racetrack here in the aqua colored car. Shelton's in the pink colored machine. And boy, Seth Cole, we saw Seth just give Levi just a nudge on the bumper. And into turn number 1 they go here. McIntyre's still out in front. And we saw the lime green car of Chris Dodd trailing the back of the pack. Shelton outside for the lead, and she's gonna get it in turn number 1 out of turn number 4. But McIntyre goes inside lane now. Jordan Davis on the outside. Let's see what Davis can do. Jordan Davis to the inside lane, and Shelton goes outside. And here comes Jordan Davis in the silver car for the lead. He's got the outside, and on the outside of him is the dark green car of Walmart Series champion Connor Morgan. Series he represents here, Shelton representing the Snickers Cup Series. She was the last ever champion of that series. And boy, look at Connor Morgan outside lane, giving that lane a ride. Now McIntyre tries to go up the middle between Morgan and the silver car of Jordan Davis. And now Connor Morgan goes inside. He wants to take the lead. And McIntyre getting a little tail happy coming out of the second turn. Morgan's taps the wall just a little bit. Now McIntyre dives inside. Trying to regain second position. Maybe regain the lead possibly. Now Charles Samber on the outside with the help of Trent Dunham. In the gold color car. Sanford driving the yellow machine. .6 of a second from first to 11th here, and Chris Dodd in the lime green car falling back just a bit here, and oh my gosh, Davis just rubs wheels with Shelton. Davis almost gets out of control. Now the outside lane prevailing here for the car of Connor Morgan, the dark green car. .20 laps in the books, 30 laps to go here. Just 5 laps till halfway here at Michigan. Be a 50 lapper here today here at Michigan. There'll be 40 laps for the finale at Indianapolis. Some good racing these guys and gals have been giving us here today. McIntyre to second position behind Jordan Davis. There's the leader, who's the leader of the race, I should say. Jordan Davis representing the Mobile One Cup Series, the last ever champion in that series. Now, I'm not sure who the last champion of the Oreo Truck Series was, to be honest with you. Maybe Seth will probably fill me in on that one, because I am kind of guilty of not looking that up. Seth Cole to the outside lane now on Shelton, who now drops to 4th, as now Seth and Charles Sanford battle it out for position. That's for the 5th position. On board the Seth Cole car for the roof cam. Look at Seth, though, going into turn number 1 at 183 miles per hour. He's now, I think Seth's one of the few cars that's actually in 4th gear right now. Let's see how fast, this is how much the RPMs he turns in 4th gear. We saw 9,000 earlier in 3rd gear. And into turn 3 at about 7,500 RPMs. See how much he turns on the front stretch here as he follows that dark green car of Connor Morgan. Let's see right there, 7,200, 74, 75. And about 7,500 RPMs at 179 miles per hour in turn number 1. And they're getting a little bit on the rowdy side, just a little bit. There's see right there. Seth's the only car in 4th gear on this bunch of cars here. I think maybe the only car in 4th gear in this bunch, in the whole field. Yes, he is. All the rest of the cars are in 3rd gear. Seth's somehow mustering enough RPM to get her in the high gear. Problem is, of course, though, you get in high gear on these cars, though. You're staying in high gear as opposed to being 3rd, though. You may not have the engine all the way wound up, possibly, but who's to say? And oh my gosh, Charles Hammer got really loose going in the 3rd turn there in that yellow car. Sanford now trying to draft behind his buddy Jessica Shelton. Nah, Sanford goes to the inside lane. And into turn number 1 goes Charles as he falls back in line. Roof cam, Charles Sanford's car. Halfway in the home in this race here. 25 in the books, 25 to go. In this 50 lapper, that is third round of IROC at Michigan for the NNSCRA. Honoring 5 years of NNSCRA racing, and boy, what 5 years! It has been in this league. And here's to hopefully another 5 years of NNSCRA racing. Outside lane goes the orange car of Sean Henley, and again, ignore the name on the cars right here. Ignore those. I should say ignore the driver's names. That'd be the more specific term, not True Value name. That's True Value is a sponsor on all these cars. We're going into turn number 1. See how fast he turns here. 178, 179 miles an hour into turn number 1. Gains him a little bit on the blue car of dark blue car of Seth Cole. Later in the race is now Trent Dunham in the gold color car. In the second goes Connor Morgan. Third is Jordan Davis. Fourth position is now Levi McIntyre. Seth Cole trying to battle for fourth with McIntyre. And McIntyre takes it in turn number 1 at 180 miles per hour. You remember earlier we saw Seth at over 183 miles an hour into turn number 1. As I said, he now currently holds the fastest lap of the race at 166.424 miles an hour. Several cars in the 166 range, as a matter of fact, though, as well. Norman at 166.29. Yep, and actually I should not give Seth Cole the fastest lap of the race right now because Anthony McCurry just eclipsed that at 166.482. Although right now McCurry runs in the 10th position here, Sean Henley in 11th, Chris Dodd struggling in that 12th position. He is trying to gain a little bit on that front pack, though. He's about a half a second behind Henley at the moment, trying to catch a sniff of that draft. "20 laps to go. Trent Dunham still out in front, but here comes the outside lane. That's Connor Morgan in the dark green car, Levi McIntyre in the aqua car, the purple car of Michael Norman. Jordan Davis in that silver car running in 5th position. McIntyre, one of the two, as we said, that has won a race this season. He won at Daytona, the first round of the IROC, as now the dark green Connor Morgan takes the lead. That's in fact, Connor is in Levi's Levi's Walmart Cup Series. In fact, he was the season 10 champion of that series. That's how he's in the NNSCRA IROC, and reason why Levi McIntyre's in himself because he runs an IROC series, because he runs an NNSCRA series. Some of the ones who are in this series actually is the ones who currently or formerly ran an IROC series. I mean, NNSCRA series, excuse me. The guy inside of him, Trent Dunham, formerly ran the NNSCRA Caterpillar ARCA series. Back when that category existed, back when that series existed, it may still, I'm not sure, to be honest. Only Trent himself knows. But here comes Norman to the inside lane, and nope, going further inside is Seth Cole. And look at that speed, 184 miles an hour into turn number 1. Seth keeping that car wound up, but he had to get out of the throttle on the inside lane, 135 miles an hour. Something went wrong with that dark blue car. He must have gotten loose of some kind. Who's to say, but he felt like a rock that time by. Seth dropping him down to about 7th position. Now up the track goes Jordan Davis. And whoa, car on the apron on the track, that was the dark green of Connor Morgan, who went way down the apron on the racetrack, but he still remains in 3rd position. And boy, battle for the lead between Trent Dunham and Levi McIntyre. Here was 17 laps to go in this race here, and whoa! That's the powder blue car, Anthony McCurry. He got way down on the apron on the racetrack and just about got turned around. This track here becoming very, very slippery. Let's see what happens in the 3rd and 4th turns here as they go to will somebody get dipped to the apron or whatever? I don't know. I'm not sure, but these cars like they've been slipping just a little bit. McIntyre out in front in that aqua-colored machine. Michael Norman, you're looking at him in the purple machine right there behind Trent Dunham. There's Seth Cole and Anthony McCurry right behind him. And whoa, McCurry shoves Cole up the track. Now here comes Brandon Gonzalez in the red car. He's suddenly trying to become a factor in the last few laps of this race as we're down to 15 laps to go in this race. On board, Jessica Shelton's car from the roof cam. Outside goes Sean Henley in the orange car. Shelton won the 2nd round of the IROC at Talladega. Tapping the brakes a little bit. We see her fastest lap of the race, 165.99. So as she goes this time by here, catching a draft off of the car of Brandon Gonzalez, only 161.88 the last time by. Now she goes inside, and Shelton has to get way out of the throttle. It keeps that car wound up just a little bit there. Let's see what happens on the backstretch. They go 173 miles an hour. Shelton running in 10th position. As now Seth Cole takes the lead away. McIntyre right behind him in 2nd position. As they come down, it'll be as we now have 13 laps to go, 38 in the books, or 37 in the books, excuse me. Seth's car handling like it's on a rail right now at this moment. In that dark blue car. 178 miles an hour in the 3rd turn. And pulling away from that front bunch right there. That's Trent Dunham going inside of Levi McIntyre for 2nd position. Seth just flat pulling away right now. Trent might have a little bit of momentum. And in fact, he does have momentum. Look at Trent go in that gold car. But nope, McIntyre says the heck with you. I'm going to the inside for 2nd position. But Trent not making it look easy on that outside lane though. And now with the help of the purple car, Michael Norman. As we look at the dark green car, that's Connor Morgan And look at Norman on the high side there. He gets by McIntyre. Now what's he going to do with Trent? See how fast Trent does into turn number going into turn number 1. 178 miles an hour, 179. Not quite hitting 180, just like Seth has been doing consistently. And like I said, we saw 184 miles an hour out of Seth just a little earlier in the race there, going into turn number 1. So he's got some kind of horsepower in the hood of that Pontiac of the Pontiac. Three wide racing. That's for the second position here. Michael Norman sticking his nose inside, and Levi McIntyre got a run on the outside. He goes inside now. A little switch here. 10 laps to go at Michigan. Levi trying to pull an old switcheroo right there coming out of turn number 4 to go outside, then go inside to try to hopefully keep the momentum on the inside. But alas, it didn't work, and Seth continues to lead the field. Could the president of the NNSCRA pull off a win in IROC? We're about to find out in about the last 9.5 laps. Apologize for the lag here. Connor Morgan now making it 3 wide here. Anthony McCurry trying to shove Dunham. As the second place on has now caught that dark blue car of Dunham. And Chris Dodd all alone in the back of the pack. So more than likely Chris, and I'm not sure where Chris is going to end up points wise after this race here at Michigan. Eight laps to go. 181 miles an hour out of Seth Coldo. And like I said, he's the only car in this race that's in 4th gear right now. Everybody else is in 3rd gear. So like I said, Seth has been able to muster enough speed on the front stretch to get that extra bunch of RPM to hit the shift point. McIntyre to 2nd position. There's McCurry in 3rd. Trent Dunham in 4th. And here comes McCurry to the inside lane. 182 miles an hour to turn number 1. Oh, instead of to back it off the throttle just a little bit, here comes McIntyre trying to go to the inside lane in the aqua-colored car. Levi trying to find a little bit of room. In-car camera from Seth Cole's car. See how fast he goes up there. Here comes McIntyre to the inside lane. McCurry shoving him. 182 miles an hour again, going to turn number 1 for Seth. But that outside lane seems to work to people's advantage, and Seth again holds them all off. Coming down to the start-finish line this time, it'll be 5 laps to go here in round 3 of IROC at Michigan. Start-finish line they come. Cole leads them down. These guys get the battling back there here. This may play the Seth's advantage though, but By the time I say that, McCurry and McIntyre, they hook up. It's going to be the key. It's going to be key is the draft. And now here comes McCurry. He goes inside of Cole. He gets a run at him. Out of turn four, McCurry pulls ahead by about a half a car length. And Anthony McCurry inside lane takes the lead. Here with now 4 laps to go, but here comes Seth to the inside lane. Seth can keep it wound up going into turn number 1, but you go to the inside lane, you have to back off the throttle just a bit, and that's where the outside lane prevails is in the turns, at least through 1 and 2. But Seth able to keep that car side by side with McCurry now. McCurry in the medium blue car, Seth in the dark blue car. McIntyre watching all this from 3rd spot in the Aqua car. Jordan Davis in 4th. Battle for 5th between Trent Dunham and Michael Norman. 7th is Connor Morgan. 8th, Sean Henley. 9th, Brandon Gonzalez. 10th is Charles Saver. 11th, Jessica Shelton. And Chris Dodd running in 12th position, all alone in that lime green car. And Seth Cole takes the lead back. We could be set to find out what happens on the final laps of the race here as they'll be coming down for 2 laps to go this time by. Here comes McCurry down in the inside lane. Seth has been able to keep that outside lane working to his advantage though. Coming out of turn number 4, McCurry dives inside again. Who leads this lap? 2 laps to go. Cole does. McCurry goes to the inside lane, but Anthony has to back it off just a little bit. Oh boy, this is going to be one mad scramble. They're hooked up again, though. That dark blue car against the medium blue car. Here, McCurry may be backing up for a possibly for a run, or maybe for a drafting help, though. McIntyre or the silver car of Jordan Davis could possibly help him. But the white flag will be waving. Is waving. 1 lap to go here at Michigan. Can Seth Cole hold them all off for his first win of the IROC here at Michigan? Top 5 cars single file racing. Or single file here. McCurry, does he have anything for Seth? I don't think he does. Into the 3rd turn, McCurry tries to make a charge in that medium blue car. But off corner number 4, the dark blue car of Seth Cole, the president of the NNSCRA. McCurry makes a charge to the inside lane. Short. Seth Cole wins round number 3 at Michigan of the IROC. Boy, I didn't know McCurry was actually going to make that big of a run coming out of turn number 4. And almost got Seth coming to the checkered flag there. Average speed 163.451. In this race, average margin of victory 0.97 at the start-finish line. Finishing order in this race here today, Seth Cole wins the race here today. Anthony McCurry comes home 2nd. 3rd, Levi McIntyre. 4th, Michael Norman. 5th was Connor Morgan. 6th, Jordan Davis. Or 6th was Charles Sanford, excuse me. 7th, Jordan Davis. 8th, Trent Dunham. 9th, Sean Henley. 10th, Brandon Gonzalez. 11th, Jessica Shelton. And last place was Chris Dodd. Way out of the draft by 2 seconds. For that lime green machine. So if you like what you see here, be sure to subscribe to the NNSCRA channel, sports and gaming channel, I should say. Here, you never know what you'll find here in our races, gaming videos, whatever the president of the NNSCRA and race winner here today, Seth Cole, desires on his channel here. So, all that said, the final round of IROC will be coming up next at Indianapolis Motor Speedway to determine the NNSCRA IROC champion. in the fourth and final race of the season. So until then, James Qualls has been a production of the NNSCRA, celebrating 5 years of offline racing at its best.